Passion, drive, persistence, resilience, love. All qualities that shape and define us. Join the Cyber Warrior as he helps shape your path. This is Walk With Me. Welcome back to Walk With Me, a cyberwarriorstudios production. As always, I'm your host on this journey, the Cyber Warrior. Now, once again, we have had one of our faithful listeners ask us a question. And so what I'm going to do today is answer it, because that's what I'm here for. And this one's going to be extremely career oriented. And this goes for anybody going into any career, because of the fact that we are all going to face these problems, no matter what career field you're going into. So here goes the question. What advice do you have for someone very new to the field who is extremely depressed by the job searching process and needs a new job yesterday, but knows this is what they want to do and that they will be incredible at? So what this sounds like to me is someone going into more of a career transitioning process, or even, it could even be someone just entering a career field. It's just something they're extremely passionate about and something that they love. And take it from someone who understands the passion you can have for a career field. We've discussed what my career field is in cybersecurity and how passionate I am about that. So I completely get it. Now, here's the thing. Job searching is not easy. There's a lot of, not necessarily barriers, but issues you're going to run into as you're looking for jobs, whether it be bad job descriptions or your unwillingness to apply for jobs that you don't feel fully qualified for. There's going to be a lot of things you run into. But as long as you are looking at jobs and you know you're going to be good at it and you know you can do that job, even if it requires a little bit of learning, let's be honest, it is almost impossible, impossible to know everything that there is about a particular job. Companies have different infrastructures, or law firms know things differently or do things differently. Doctors do things differently. Hospitals do things differently. No matter what you do, you're going to have to learn and grow on the job. It's going to happen no matter what you're doing. Things change. So yeah, there are bare minimums that you should acquire for any career field. I consider them foundations. Now in IT and cybersecurity, you'll hear that a lot. You should at least have an understanding of the foundations of any career field. And when you're looking at the depression and the kind of anxiety that comes along when you're on the job search and you're not necessarily finding what you want, or you're not getting that call back, or maybe you're getting an interview but getting rejected by somebody else, what I like to do is take a look at what are you doing to differentiate yourself? Because let's be honest, in a lot of career fields these days, especially on the digital side, whether it's graphic design, IT, marketing, cybersecurity, the list goes on. Digitally especially, you'll have portfolios that people will build, all right? Things that they've done in the past, talks that they've given, or shows they've been on, podcasts they've been on. There's so many other things. And when you look at it on a more, I don't want to say professional, but in a different aspect of when you're looking at law firms and being a doctor and all these other things. Okay, so what training have you done? What learning have you done? If you're going to be a lawyer, what cases have you won? And things of that nature. So you have to kind of take things and look at it from a perspective of what makes me different, what sets me apart from everybody else. Because if you take it as, oh, I'm only going through school, or I've got these certifications, that should help. Yeah, but in this day and age, so many people have those pieces of paper. It's very hard to come by these days, people that don't have some type of certification or degree or something like that. So you have to build your portfolio. Are you doing lab work if you're in IT? Are you working on more laws, or what? Again, if you're a lawyer, what cases have you won? What have you been able to do as a doctor? Okay, what procedures have you done? What diagnostics have you done? If you're looking at diagnostic medicine and things of that nature. So you have to be able to put these things together. You have to set yourself apart, because when you don't, and you just kind of fall into the middle or fall in with everybody else, then it makes it very hard. Now, the other thing I want you to understand is it also, as much as people hate it, it does come down to personality. You have to understand you're going to have to work with tons of people. And if there is any type of clashing that goes on with personalities. And I'm not talking about beliefs or anything like that. I am talking just strictly professional personalities, how you get the job done. That's it. Then yes, you may have issues there. All right. And it comes more from a standpoint of how do you speak to people? Are you professional, or do you just talk like you're talking to some of your friends outside of work? And depending on the atmosphere, that could play a huge role that you may not understand. So all these different factors go into it, and you just have to find the right company for you. And it's going to take time. I mean, there's people out there that get lucky and find a job within a month. There's people that don't get lucky and it takes them a year or two. But as long as you're differentiating yourself and you're building your network, and that's the other thing I didn't talk about, is building your network. Again, we are in a different day and age now. There's no more, granted, you probably could for some places just walk up and hand a resume and say, hey, I want to work here. But for the most part, when you look at anybody that's doing hiring, the first thing they're doing is looking for your social media presence. They want to know who you are, the real you, not what you present on a resume. That might get your foot in the door and in front of the hiring manager, but they want to know the real you. So are you interacting with these people on professional networks like LinkedIn? And I get it. LinkedIn can get a little crazy sometimes, just like any social media, but are you making your voice heard? Are you talking about the topics that matter to you? Are you talking about subjects that you want to be known for? Because if you are, then that makes it a lot easier. And again, if you're looking to transition careers, then you need to start talking to other people in that career field. You need to start interacting with them, especially on the posts that matter to you, be it technology oriented or anything else. All right. Because that's how you're going to make a name for yourself. Start talking to hiring managers, network with them. And don't, by all means, please, I beg of you, do not reach out to a hiring manager, say, hey, I'm looking for a job. Here's my resume. Do you have anything? That is probably the worst thing you can do. But if you build a rapport and build this professional network of people that you interact with on an almost daily basis, and let's be honest, with the way a lot of these algorithms work these days and the way social networking works, it's all on how much you interact with others on that particular platform. So if you stop commenting, if you don't post, if you don't do certain things, now all of a sudden nobody's seeing the things you put out there. So make sure you are interacting with others. It goes a long way. But otherwise, look, if you really love what you're trying to go for, I mean, truly, truly love it, and this is what you want to do, and you believe in it, and there is absolutely nothing that anybody can say to change your mind, then keep at it. You're going to get there. You will. It's just going to take some time. And it may take longer than you think, but believe me, I've seen so many people that push and push and push. And yeah, it may take a year. It may have taken 2 years, and they've had jobs in the interim just to hold them over, but they eventually got there. Maybe you work at a company for as I don't know, whatever the lowest level is, that you're just trying to get your foot in the door. Just try to get into a company that you really want to work for. And then you talk to the positions that you want to be at. So you actually reach out to these people on a more personal level. You're able to interact with them and ask questions and do things around that. And that helps out a lot of the time. On my other show, I've actually had people get jobs that way. That is how they got their jobs, was being in a position where they could ask questions to the position they wanted. And it helps. That networking, that collaboration, that ability to communicate is so vital. And I think from my perspective, that's a lot of what we're missing in today's society and in this day and age, is that communication. Growing up, when I went through high school and even middle school, we did public speaking. We did presentations. We had to do research. We had to talk in front of people. And it allowed me the opportunity to learn how to speak in front of people. Now, I'll be honest, depending on the atmosphere, there's times I'm not very professional. Anybody who has watched my other content knows this. I'm going to speak based on the environment I want to set. But if I know I am in a professional setting, if I know I am in a situation where you're not allowed to swear, or at least you really shouldn't swear, and you should really regard what you say and pay attention to it, then I will do my very best to do that. But if I am in a situation like my show where it's my show and I want to set the atmosphere and I want to make it more relaxed and more of a inviting or a more friendly environment, then that's what I'm going to do. So you have to take into consideration who you're speaking with and what you can and can't say, because then it'll set you up more for success. That networking, that communication, those people skills and soft skills, all this stuff is important. So writing blogs, talking on posts. I know we tend to use verbiage that is more condensed, especially on social media, especially on something like Twitter where they give you character limits. It's not so much on some of your professional networks. So pay more attention to what you're typing, okay? Pay more attention to how you are presenting your thoughts, how you articulate your thoughts. Are you using proper punctuation? Are you using the right verbiage? Are you using the right terms for what you're trying to convey? Because then that will go a long way to show that you actually know how to present yourself in a written manner. All these things matter. It all kind of intertwines. And so if you're not doing these things, or you're only doing maybe one of the two, or one of, I forget how many I gave, but one of, X number of things, then you're kind of setting yourself apart, but there's other people out there that are doing everything. And so you have to find the time to do it. And again, I'm a big proponent of set time aside for yourself, do things for your mental health, do things for taking care of your body and your mind and your spirit and all these other things. I really am. But you also have to make sure you're putting forth the time to get to where you want to be, to hit that next level, to hit that next phase in your life where you finally feel like, okay, I'm getting somewhere. So again, don't get depressed by the job search. If you need to reach out to someone, reach out to me. I will gladly jump on a call or anything like that and help you out. I have no problem doing it. That's what I'm here for. But you just have to understand that sometimes it takes longer than you want it to. You just have to make sure you're setting yourself up for success and you're setting yourself up in the best possible way. So otherwise, look, I don't have any special verses today. Or stanzas. I don't have anything special to say other than wisdom comes from the heart and a life lived. And so since I always try to give wisdom, let me give you a little bit here that is nothing special. It's just from me and it's from my heart. You will succeed. You will make it as long as you don't give up. The only time you are truly a failure is the moment you quit going for it. The moment you give up completely is the moment you're a failure. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, take the rejection or whatever it is, learn from it, grow from it, and move on from it. Don't live in your past. You live in the present. And you look to the future at what you can do better. You learn from your past. You do better in the future. Otherwise, look, hey, I love you all. This has been another amazing episode of Walk With Me. And if you want any of my awesome merchandise, you could check the description. You'll find links to everything down there, as well as all the ways you can support me. Otherwise, please rate, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff on this episode. And I promise I'll be coming out with another big one next week.